Hello, my name is Amelia, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. I want to talk about something that I know many of you have felt in the deepest parts of your hearts. It's that moment when you realize something has shifted in a relationship. Not all at once, but quietly, slowly, like the seasons changing without you really noticing, until one day you look outside and everything is different. You're holding your phone, scrolling through old messages, and you can almost feel the warmth draining out of the words. The conversations that used to leave you smiling now leave you staring at the screen, wondering what happened. What went wrong? When did things change? And maybe most painfully, could you have done something differently? I want to be honest with you right from the start. This isn't about blame. This isn't about making you feel worse than you already do. This is about helping you see the truth of what's happening around you. Because sometimes we're so deep in the middle of something that we can't see it clearly anymore. We're too close to the pain. We're holding on to hope so tightly that we miss what's actually in front of us. And that's okay. That's human. That's what love does to us sometimes. You know, I've received thousands of messages from people just like you. They tell me about the late nights they've spent analyzing every word, every pause, every time their partner didn't text back right away. They tell me about how they've started to believe that maybe they're asking for too much, wanting too much, needing too much. They've begun to shrink themselves down, trying to take up less space, hoping that if they just become smaller, quieter, less demanding, maybe then the person they love will want to stay. And that breaks my heart because I know how real that pain is. I know how it feels to question your own worth because someone else is making you feel like you're not enough. So let me tell you something that I need you to really hear. When a woman, or anyone really, starts to pull away from you emotionally, it rarely happens with fanfare. It doesn't usually come with a dramatic announcement or a fight that makes everything suddenly clear. Instead, it happens in the spaces between words. It happens in the things that aren't said anymore. It happens when you start to notice that you're putting in all the effort, all the energy, all the hope, and somewhere along the way, the other person stopped showing up. There's this really important thing I've learned over the years. Something that changed how I understand relationships entirely. Love is like a garden. At first, when you plant something new, it grows almost on its own. You water it, you give it sunlight, and it thrives because everything is fresh and the soil is rich. But a garden doesn't maintain itself forever. If you want that garden to keep blooming, both of you have to keep tending to it. You both have to show up. You both have to care for it. And when one person stops showing up, when one person decides that maybe they're too tired or too busy or just not interested in gardening anymore, the flowers start to wilt. It's not because you loved them wrong. It's because a garden needs two gardeners. The first thing I want you to understand, and I'm going to spend some real time here because this is so important, is about caring. Not just love, that's different. I'm talking about genuine, demonstrated care. I'm talking about the moment when someone stops caring about how their actions affect your heart. When someone truly loves you, when they genuinely want you in their life, your feelings matter to them. They matter as much as their own feelings do. Think about the people in your life who you deeply care about. When you know you've hurt them, even accidentally, it bothers you, doesn't it? You want to make it right. You want them to know that you didn't mean to cause pain. You want to bridge whatever gap has opened up between you. That's what care looks like. It's the instinct to protect the connection because you value it. It's the willingness to be vulnerable and say, I hurt you and I'm sorry, let's fix this together. But there's something that happens when someone's heart begins to check out. And this is what I want you to really pay attention to. Their actions start to feel careless. Not necessarily cruel, but careless. She might say things that she knows will hurt you, and she won't follow up with reassurance. She might make choices that impact you negatively, and she won't explain herself or ask if you're okay. The conversations that used to end with connection now end with distance. You ask questions, genuine questions looking for understanding, and instead of getting answers, you get silence or dismissal. And here's what happens to most men in this situation. They start blaming themselves. They think, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I'm being clingy or needy. Listen to me. Wanting basic kindness from someone who claims to care about you is never too much. Let me say that again because I need this to land with you. Wanting basic kindness, wanting someone to care about your feelings, wanting them to try, wanting them to explain themselves, wanting them to make an effort to understand you is not too much. That's the bare minimum of any healthy relationship. The confusion you feel when this starts happening, that's your gut telling you something is wrong. Your heart knows. Your intuition knows. Even if your brain is still trying to convince you that everything is fine, that maybe she's just having a rough week, that maybe things will get better soon, somewhere deep inside you, you know. And that's actually a gift, even though it doesn't feel like one right now. That confusion is your internal alarm system trying to protect you. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, and this one is going to really resonate with a lot of you, is about effort. It's about the work that keeps a relationship alive. Here's something nobody really talks about, but it's absolutely true. Feelings start a relationship, but work keeps it alive. At the beginning, when everything is new and exciting, the work feels effortless. You want to text her? You text her. You want to see her? You find time. You want to talk for hours? You stay up all night. The effort doesn't feel like effort because you're so invested, so excited, so in love. But real relationships, the ones that matter, the ones that have depth and meaning, they need constant, intentional care. And this is where I want to talk about what it looks like when someone stops caring. It doesn't happen dramatically. Nobody wakes up one day and decides, I'm going to completely stop trying. It's much more subtle than that. The texts get shorter, the responses take longer to arrive. She cancels plans more often. The excitement that used to be there when you had something to tell her, that's gone now. You find yourself always being the one who reaches out first. You're always the one asking how she is. You're always the one thinking of things to talk about. You're always the one making plans to see each other. And slowly, without you even fully realizing it, the entire weight of the relationship shifts onto your shoulders. This is a dangerous place to be, and I want to help you understand why, because so many men get trapped here. You start making excuses for her, and honestly, sometimes these excuses are valid. She might be genuinely busy. She might be dealing with stress in her life. She might be going through something hard. And you think, if I just give her space, if I just be patient, if I just wait for things to get better, we'll be okay. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes that patient love is exactly what's needed. But there's a crucial difference between a woman who is temporarily busy and a woman who has genuinely stopped caring. A woman who loves you, even when she's overwhelmed, even when her life is a mess, will find ways to show you that you matter. It might not be big gestures. It might be a simple text saying she's thinking of you. It might be making time for just 5 minutes to really talk to you. It might be an apology when she realizes she's been distant. The effort might look different than it used to, but the intention is still there. You can feel it. You can sense that she's trying, even if she's tired. But when a woman has emotionally checked out, trying feels like a burden to her. Responding to your texts feels like a chore. Spending time with you feels like something she can skip. And here's the thing that really matters. If you stopped calling, if you stopped texting, if you stopped making all the plans and doing all the work, the relationship would simply fade away. Not because of a big fight or a dramatic ending, but because she already let go a long time ago. She just never told you that part out loud. This realization, when it finally hits you, is devastating. Because it means you've been trying to carry something alone that requires 2 people. And you can be the most loving, the most loyal, the most devoted person in the world, but you cannot force someone to care about a relationship. You cannot argue them into staying. You cannot love them enough for both of you. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is perhaps the clearest sign of all, and it's something that a lot of people don't talk about enough. It's about the future. When someone truly loves you, they automatically include you in their future vision. They talk about it naturally without even thinking about it. We should go to that concert next month. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could travel there next summer? I want to show you that place. Imagine where we'll be in a few years. These aren't calculated statements. They're just how the person's mind works. They picture their future and you're in the picture. But when someone's heart has started to leave, the language changes. The future becomes vague. The plans become fuzzy. Instead of we, you start to hear I. Instead of naturally assuming you'll be there, she starts making plans that only include her. And the dangerous part? This is so quiet, so subtle, that so many men miss it entirely. You're focused on what's happening right now. You got a text from her. You saw her last week. Maybe things seem okay today. But all the while, she's building a life in her mind that doesn't have you in it. Think about what a healthy relationship future looks like. People dream together. They talk about trips and events and milestones. They talk about where they're going as a team. That conversation about the future, it's where people show their hand. It's where you can see what they actually value and what they're actually invested in. When someone stops talking about a future with you, when they stop inviting you into that space, it's because they've already mentally left. They're already living a different life in their head, one where you're not there. And I want to really emphasize something here. This isn't about perfection. Relationships aren't perfect. People have bad weeks and stressful months. People get overwhelmed and pull back temporarily. Good relationships can weather that because the care is still there underneath. The foundation is still solid. You both still want to be together. Even when it's hard, you keep trying because you don't want to lose each other. But emotional leaving, the kind I'm talking about, is different. It's not a bad week. It's a pattern. It's a consistent withdrawal of care, effort, and investment. It's one person slowly disappearing while the other person is desperately trying to hold on to something that's already gone. And here's what really matters. I want you to understand that recognizing these signs doesn't mean you have to leave immediately. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that you need to see the truth. You need to stop making excuses. You need to stop shrinking yourself down and accepting less than you deserve. You need to look at the patterns, not the moments of hope. So many men spend years in this place, this painful, confusing, exhausting place, where they're trying to win back someone who has already decided to leave. They think if they're just a little nicer, a little more patient, a little more understanding, maybe the woman will come back. Maybe things will return to how they were at the beginning. But here's the thing about relationships. You cannot go backward. You can only go forward. And if someone doesn't want to go forward with you, then you have to make a choice about what you're going to do with your own life. Your value doesn't decrease because someone stopped seeing it. You are still worthy of love. You are still deserving of someone who chooses you, who shows up for you, who wants to build a future with you. Don't let yourself become so small, so quiet, so diminished that you disappear entirely. Because that's what happens when you spend all your energy trying to convince someone else that you're worth loving. You forget to love yourself. I know this is heavy. I know it's painful to look at. But I also know that the truth, even when it hurts, is always better than the confusion. The clarity, even when it's devastating, is always better than the endless wondering. So I'm asking you to be brave enough to see what's actually happening. Be honest enough with yourself to acknowledge the patterns, and be kind enough to yourself to take action on what you see. The right person won't make you question your worth. The right person won't make you feel like you have to beg for basic care and attention. The right person will show up. She'll try, she'll invest, she'll build a future with you. And if that person isn't the one you're with right now, then that's not a failure on your part. That's just information. That's clarity. And clarity, even when it's hard, is always the first step toward healing. I care about you. I care about your heart. And I want you to know that you're not alone in this. So many people are feeling this right now. So many people are questioning. So many people are hurting. And if you're one of them, I want you to know that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be angry. And when you're ready, it's okay to move forward towards something better.